I can't do this. I can't do this. Hey, welcome to Watch Candy. I am super excited for this episode. Today we're doing another installment in my favorite series on this channel, the original series on this channel, what watches characters in Mario Kart World would wear. What I do is I go through the roster and I pick a handful of characters and I assign watches to them and say, like, based on the character's looks or the traits or like what they do in this game or universe, and say, yes, this is the watch that this character would wear for these reasons. So if you're huge into Mario Kart like me, you're gonna love this episode for today. I came prepared. I have this excellent specimen of a Toad right here. If you don't know, Toad is my favorite character. This was gifted to me by a dear friend of the channel, so thank you very much. You know who you are. I'm wearing an MK hoodie. MK obviously for Mario Kart. Yeah, let's just get right into this. The first character we have for today is Daisy, and Daisy is a character who is beloved by many. She is known to be a little underrated, underappreciated, but she doesn't let that stop her. She's very sporty, she's very active, while keeping it classy and fancy. So today I picked a watch that will not only stand up to all of her rigorous activities, but also is flashy and prestigious. The watch I've picked for her is the Richard Mille RM2702, specifically on the orange strap. Obviously, this watch is insane. Any Richard Mille is. This one is a tier above the rest. It is limited to only 50 pieces worldwide and was made in collaboration with tennis player Rafael Nadal. And I thought, you know, considering Daisy plays tennis as one of her activities, I think this watch is perfect. Not to mention it fits her color scheme very well. This watch is really cool also because the case is made out of a proprietary material by Richard Mille called quartz TPT, which is essentially 3D printed quartz. So the case is made out of thousands and thousands of little layers of quartz, and it gives the case such a unique and interesting look and design. Everything about this watch is perfect for Daisy. I love how every little color ties into her with the orange, the reds, the yellows, the white, and considering she's a princess with a humongous castle, I think it is well within her budget at about $1.8 million. For our next character, we have someone who is far lesser known. This is Chargin' Chuck. Of course, he is big, he is beefy, he's obviously very into football. I decided to pick a watch that not only stand up to his lifestyle, always charging around, even in Mario Kart World, he is a bit of an obstacle to avoid, and only one brand can really do that, and that is G-Shock. So for Chargin' Chuck, I have chosen the GD400-1B2. As far as G-Shocks go, this one is quite cut and dry. It's got a digital display, black resin case, but what makes this one unique is that it has these guarding bars that go across the case and the display, which I think is very reminiscent of Chargin' Chuck's football helmet grill or whatever the mouthpiece is called. I don't know football. And I think those blue accents go very well with his blue accents. There's no frills, it's just a practical, durable watch. He doesn't strike me as someone who'd be into watches, so I think something purely practical like this is totally up his alley. And it's only $155, so even if he breaks it, he can just buy a new one. Next, we have a very iconic character. This is Koopa Troopa. Koopa Troopa is iconic. He's in basically every Mario game that's ever existed. And honestly, I was struggling to think of a good watch for him, but then I realized, yeah, in Mario Kart World, he comes with all sorts of different costumes, anywhere from like a sailor to a construction worker, but underneath all of these facades, Koopa Troopa is at heart a soldier for Bowser, which means he needs a soldier's watch. And to me, that can only be the Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical 38mm. I like to think that this is standard issue in Bowser's army. It's practical, it's inexpensive relatively at $675. It's proven in the field, and it is an excellent time-telling device to help him coordinate his efforts against Mario and his friends. And it is durable enough that hopefully it will be able to stand up to being frozen and burned and stomped and smashed by Mario a few times. After Koopa Troopa, we have another iconic character. This is Wario. known for being a bit of the anti-Mario. He's big, he's loud, he's obnoxious, he's rude, and he really just doesn't care about anyone or anything. And I think a watch that is perfect for him, maybe a little bit because of his personality, but also just because of its size and its colors. I think an excellent pair for Wario is the Rolex Submariner Date two-tone with the blue ceramic bezel, specifically the 12661-3LB reference. Otherwise known as the Bluesy Submariner, this watch is definitely a statement piece that belongs on Wario's wrist. It just gives Wario energy, and I think that's because this watch is also a little bit obnoxious, and it's definitely not a small piece either. I like to think that this is the only watch that Wario wears, and he wears it everywhere, doing everything, and you know it is just beaten up, but he keeps wearing it. And if you are curious, it retails at $17,600. And I just know that Wario bought it at retail because he threatened the sales staff. I just know it. Lastly, we're closing out with my favorite character of all time, Precious Toad. You may be thinking, hey, in your first episode of this series, we already covered Toad. Why are we doing him again? Here's the thing. Not only does Toad deserve more than one awesome watch, but that was specifically the watch for the Explorer Toad iteration. This watch is exclusive to regular Toad. And I know I'm entirely biased. That is the whole point of talking about Toad and Mario Kart in general. I believe my favorite character deserves a watch from my favorite brand. This is the H. Moser & Co. Streamliner Flyback Chronograph, specifically in the quote, funky blue fume dial. This watch is obviously gorgeous, and it goes with Toad's color scheme with all the blue and the white and the red. It's obviously Toad's watch. And what's awesome mechanically about this watch is that it has that flyback chronograph functionality, which is incredibly complex to do on top of a regular chronograph, but it also is all centrally mounted, so you'll notice there are no sub-dials at all in this watch. I love H. Moser & Co. They're an incredible brand. I know I keep saying it, but I do want to do a whole dedicated video about them one of these days. Honestly, I think this watch could be priced higher. It's only at 45,000 Swiss francs, which, I mean, obviously is a ton of money. But for what it is, and the complication, and the brand, and the quality of this watch, it might even be a good value proposition. This watch just belongs on Toad's wrist, period. No debate. That is what I've got for today. I love working on this series. Again, I love Mario Kart, I love watches, so it's really fun when my two favorite things intersect and I get to talk about it. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Your viewership is so meaningful to me and this channel. If you want to join Watch Candy, subscribe, join Watch Candy. We would love to have you. And if there are characters that you want me to get to next, throw in the comments and they'll be featured on the next episode. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.